So just a disclaimer, I completely forgot about this speech, and I wrote it and practiced it like 2 days ago, so it's not going to be perfect, but I pulled something together. So my question is, electronics, the good, bad, or ugly? One can go many different ways with this question. Some may go the route of electronics are bad and the devil spawn and should never be used and burned in a fire. While others go the route of electronics are the best thing to ever happen to humanity and the world and should always be used. Well, I experienced the loss of my devices and all my phones and everything every month for the weekend or for a week or two at a time. And I've been experiencing this loss ever since I was 11 or 12, and recently I've been asking myself, are electronics the good, bad, or ugly? Now, don't get me wrong, devices are amazing things where the sky's the limit. Take an iPhone, for example. Now, if you have an iPhone, take it out, raise it up so I can see that you have one.
Right here.
Even raise that one. Just do it. There you go. So, with these amazing things, you can instantly listen to music. This saves my sanities on long car rides or long plane rides because they can be quite boring and I have nothing else to do. And you can also have the ability to text people from literally across the world. This, in my opinion, is one of my favorite things to do, because within the span of 15 minutes, I can have full-on conversation with my sister about both our days, and she lives in Japan. Now, another thing is you can instantly watch movies, TV shows, stream videos on demand. This also helps my sanity while doing school, because school can also be very boring. No offense, Mrs. B. And probably my favorite is at the tap of the finger, you can learn so many things without walking out the door or going into a library. And it's one of the most convenient is you can order anything you want from almost across the world, assuming you have the money for it. Don't go into debt, that's just the basic rule. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, are these things really good to have 24/7, 365, every day of every week? Now, phones and computers are super convenient, as I've stated, but they take up a lot of time and at least a little bit of skill to operate. They can also cost a lot to replace or repair, but the pros far outweigh the cons, right? Well, according to me and multiple other people, if you're glued to a screen all day or all night, you have no time for way more important things. Kind of like what Caden said in his speech with video games, how they can take up a lot of time. Now, you might be wondering why I'm wearing a hunting shirt and an Indiana Jones hat, which it is. And that's because this is what I wore for 5 straight days in the mountains of Virginia during a scout camp called Mountain Man. Now, in this camp, we lived like the long hunters who hunted, trapped, explored, and eventually settled in Virginia's western frontier. But in this camp, we were allowed no phones, devices, cameras, MP3 players, nothing. And somebody who hadn't done this before and were just attached to their devices and had them 24/7 all the time would have said, no devices for almost a straight week? Nah, I'm out. I have better things to do, like watch videos and text people. Of course, I didn't have this reaction because I've done this multiple times before, and I was really excited for a week with no distractions. And without a phone to check or people to text, I could focus on way more important things, like building relationships with friends down at the tavern over a nice cup of cold brewed root beer in these very cups, or just learning new things about how mountain men lived in the 18th century and how to live like them. With a distraction-free week, I was also able to learn how to make my own knife, how to take a deer hide and dry it and make it suitable for clothing, how to hunt with nothing more than a big stick, how to blacksmith, and I strengthened my skills with cooking over an open fire. I learned how to throw knives and hatchets, how to load and fire a muzzle-loading black powder rifle and a muzzle-loading black powder shotgun. But most importantly, I learned how to pay attention, and that was just in the span of 5 days. What I mean by this is I was able to pay attention and live in nature and marvel at God's creation. I was able to hear the many sounds of the woods in detail, although that wasn't really a good thing in the middle of the night when there was a frog croaking right next to your head. And I was also able to have probably hundreds of, I wish I had a camera right now moments. Although that's what makes it so amazing. I'm the only one that know what it looked like from my perspective. Now I know that I have no statistics or numbers, And that's because I'm speaking from what I and multiple other people know for a fact. And you can quote me on all this. I also want to say that I don't hate devices at all. I'm just, again, shoving your face in front of a screen for hours upon hours. And even though devices are convenient, you can live without them easily. I think I have demonstrated this, and just think of the people who lived 100 years ago. They survived for centuries without any devices holding them back. And then next time you're just doing school or going on a hike or walking or playing with your dog or friends, just do it without a device or phone anywhere nearby and just see what it's like. You might thank me. Thank you.